G'day guys, this is AHGL week number 2 brought to you by Maynarde and Zepph. Hope you guys are enjoying the new overlay. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing wonderfully. How about yourself?
I'm doing fabulously. Famously, in fact, I cannot wait to get into these games. We are going to be having Mantra versus J-Dub coming up for our first game here. We got a little bit to talk about with these players, so we'll just jump into the game right now. This will be a PvZ on Antigua Shipyard. So, here we go. In the top right here of Antigua Shipyard, we have got player Mantra from Palantir. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And in the bottom here, who have you got, Zepph?
This is our Red Zerg player, J-Dub.
Fabulous. J-Dub is from the team Epic, and we got a lot to say about Epic. These guys completely undefeated in season number 2, and by that I mean they did not lose a single game. 12-0 they ended up last season. Pepsi Max Ravens, hell yeah. Apart from the Ravens, I'm a Patriots fan myself, so let's not talk about the NFL playoffs. Let's talk about StarCraft, because that will make me cry. Just to talk about Mantra, the Protoss player in the top right here, this is actually, some of you guys might know this guy. I certainly know this guy as a long-terming standing fan of the Day 9 show. This is Tristan, Day 9's good friend that he does a lot of his gaming with. I believe college roommates from way back. And this guy, J-Dub, was the ace of Epic last season. So this guy and Mantra actually were both aces of their respective teams. So this should be a pretty exciting game number 1, I gotta say.
Yeah, first game, and we've got 2 aces going at it straight away, and it should be pretty sick. I mean, Palantir last time did a pretty good effort. I mean, it's not as impressive as a 12-0 run, but they went 6-4, and in any team league, that is actually a pretty good result. And I believe in the playoffs, they lost to Twitter in a very close 4-3, so they've definitely got some stuff to show Epic.
Yeah, I look forward to this. Can they dethrone Epic? Obviously, going to this game, Epic being pretty strong favorites. Actually, Epic probably being favorites to take out the entire season, if season 2 is anything to go by. But we've got some new faces here in the AHGL. Some other teams other than Epic and Palantir, and they could be causing some upsets. And we can see there's trying to delay a hatchery here. Old buddy Tristan, Mantra trying to delay that, doing a very good job, I got to say, so far.
Hatch does go down, but that probe can still stick around, maybe look for some proxy pylon locations, possibly even come back and bother the 3rd location if J-Dub wants to go for a quick 3rd, as is still the general standard in early games EVP. Yep,
transitioning into Heart of Swarm, lots of Wings of Liberty stuff happening here. A lot of it will be similar. I mean, it is early stages of the beta, or I guess late stages of the beta now. Heart of the Swarm just around the corner, March 12th. So only a couple months away now, not even. So we're really, really excited. Generally, yeah, you want to keep that probe alive. So important to keep that probe alive. Got to see what the Zerg is up to. Got to see what gases he takes, whether he's going to take a fast 3rd hatchery, whether he's going to go for a strong army composition. We'll have to wait and see. Does look like at this stage that there isn't too much to look at. Just taking the gases now is Mantra in his main. Really just macro-looking openings from both players. Don't see any craziness just yet.
I think it's all pretty much stock standard until at least the mothership core comes out, because that's when you can kind of get a bit of scouting information as a Protoss player, because remember, they tend to wall themselves into their natural lot, make sure no one can come in, but trade-off is that they can also not really come out of their base unless they've got, you know, maybe a Zealot and a Stalker to make sure they don't die to Lings and then do a poke. But the mothership core has been another way of doing that, and of course it has those nice little poke abilities, can pick off a few drones if it feels like, as long as you're careful, of course. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty passive until we see something like the mothership core come out.
Well, we're definitely going to have passivity from the Zerg for a little while, because this is a very fast 3rd hatchery coming up here. That's about as fast as you can take it from J-Dub. And Mantra is still just macroing up. He does have his Cybernetics core finishing up shortly. We'll be able to get the Moko out now. That old chestnut for Heart of the Swarm. The mothership core is a must-get unit. It is so effective for its cost, especially at the stage it comes out in the game. It's really, really important for stopping early aggression, just to make you feel safe. And it's not that expensive.
Yeah, definitely. Key unit for sure. So much utility in that. And I mean, along with the new A units it's got, it's just so valuable. There's really no excuse for a Protoss not to make them. We do see the mothership coming down. from Mantra. So he is on the ball with that. He can get himself some information, some pokes, and all that good stuff very, very soon.
It's got the ability to recall as well, not to mention it has a nice nifty little cannon, and can turn a Nexus into a 13 range Doom Beam of Death, which is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, Photon Overcharge, I think that one's called. It's probably my favorite thing in HOT so far. It's just so awesome to watch.
My favorite thing is the new physics engines, and I gotta say, as a fan of the Zerg race from way back into Brood War, I do enjoy that new tentacle animation from the Creep Shimmers. It's a gross little addition that they've done. It's disgusting, but I love it.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. It's awesome. And Mantra, gosh, he is taking a super quick third while he pokes out with only a Zealot and a Stalker into Zerg territory. Wow, that is greedy.
Yeah, very, very greedy. Gonna have some Stargate play behind this as well, so he's gonna just try and keep an eye on what the Zerg's doing here. And yeah, his third is actually very, very vulnerable at this stage, but luckily just 13 drones on the way for J-Dub. No offensive units from him just yet, apart from Queens.
Yeah, I'm loving it. J-Dub just macroing up also, and that does mean, of course, he doesn't have any units to fend off these few units down at the third base of Mantras, but the drones seem to have made short work of the Zealot at the very least.
And look at that drone count, Zepph. Not even 9 minutes in, and 62 drones versus the 42 probes of Mantra.
Yeah, that's delicious. But, you know, Mantra might have something to say about that in not too long. He's getting his first oracles out of the Starport now. I'm wondering how much he's going to commit to those.
Well, oracles kill workers at about 100 per second. Maybe not that much, but they're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So will they go up unchecked? It looks like already we see Spore Crawlers in the third and I think the natural as well of J-Dub. No, in fact, they're in the main. So at the third and the main, there are Spore Crawlers preparing for those oracles, or any Stargate play, really. They're going to be coming very, very handy.
Yeah, that's for sure. And they're in very key zoning locations, but if Mantra's a little bit more persistent, he will actually be able to slide around behind those spores where they can't reach and still pick off some drones anyway. But that is quite a ballsy thing to do with your oracles, because Queens can also do some damage to those, of course.
It's a very low gateway count here for Mantra, and an extremely fast fourth hatchery here from J-Dub. And a bit of a tough to defend location, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's interesting he hasn't actually gone for the center position, because the Protoss, when they go air, they're investing all their gas there. They're not going to have that much on the ground, and you should actually be able to hold that middle ground position. It's really, really crucial, especially in the mid to late game. But J-Dub, if he's happy to grab that, that is no problem at all. He probably should just knock down those rocks, though, on the side to make it a little bit easier to defend should anything come down there.
That's right, and I just noticed in the natural of Mantra, we've actually got, I think that was three oracles that he's made so far, and he's moving across the map with them, Zepph. Let's see what he can get done. A ton of Zerglings just got made by J-Dub, also Colossus down on the way for Mantra, and there's the Zerglings. The oracles do see them. What has he got on the ground to be able to deal with this?
He's got next to nothing, and that's a trade-off. He's got sentries to buy time at home, plus the Mothership Core. Don't forget that is full energy, so he can overcharge the Nexus if he needs to.
This third is in a lot of trouble, Zepph.
Yeah, there's a lot of units coming down there, but hopefully he'll be able to hold on with those zoning units.
The Zerglings have got in. They got into the natural here, surrounding the sentries. Not that many Zerglings did get in. Looks like Mantra will be able to warp in and fend off this initial attack. And some Zerglings here just happily to die passively.
Wow. And there goes the Nexus overcharge as well on the third.
Wow.
Does help out with a few kills. I'm happy now. I got to see my favorite part of the game. And what happened to those oracles?
What happened indeed? I think that they returned back home to attack. We'll just have to have a look. So if we got this new features in the map. No, it looks like the oracles did die, so they must have attacked during that. Muters are on the map now for J-Dub. And that's going to be very tough for him to deal with. Not a whole lot shoots up except for sentries, Zepph.
Yeah, and that is actually a sick move by J-Dub, going for that spy tech, the Ling muter composition. Really glad to see a revival of that, especially since those muters have now been buffed in terms of regeneration and speed. And he's going to kill so many probes.
Oh my god. Already killing a ton of probes here. Not many static defenses here at all. Desperately trying to warp in some Stalkers. The Colossus is in trouble! And the Colossus does get away. Oh, flying over some sentries here. Is going to get a couple though.
Oh wow, absolute carnage in the base of Mantra at the moment, getting slaughtered by the Mutas, but they are fended off for the time being. However, now Mantra's kind of stuck in his base. He's going to have to invest a lot into static defense if he actually wants to be able to move out and attack into J-Dub, but J-Dub's not finished.
Oh my god, the Nexus and the Mothership Core are trying to defend this off, but it looks like the Mothership Core will go down to the Mutalisks. And the Zerglings might actually get taken out by all these cannons. Mantra desperately trying to come in here and deal with this Mutaflock. Apparently, Photon Overcharge shoots air as well, and so it should for that range. Just discovered. Had no idea.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, I had no idea about that either.
Oh my, that's a lot of wings.
Now that he doesn't have the Mothership Core, he no longer has that ability to help him DPS
Oh,
down these
those sentries on the high ground. Does manage to actually catch all these Zerglings though. Very, very lucky for Mantra, but not so lucky for Mantra in the main. The Mutas double-pronged attack here from J-Dub, and it's looking pretty good so far. He's putting a lot of hurt to Mantra's main.
Oh my gosh, we're up to almost 20 workers killed already, and there's just not an answer from Mantra.
These Mutas are just putting on crippling damage to Mantra right now, disabling 4 of his gateways, unpowering them, and meanwhile another attack, relentless aggression from J-Dub. The Zerglings getting into the third, attacking the cannons, probably a little bit of a misclick there. Now splitting off the Zerglings using some stop position micro on those probes. And Mantra's pulling in to deal with the Zerglings. Meanwhile, again the Mutas pull into the main.
Mantra cannot afford to be taking these losses. There are so many Lings in that mineral line, clearing up probes while the Mutas do the rest of the work in the main. And it's at the point where the Mutas are just engaging the Stalkers.
Yeah, they get that critical mass of Mutas, and all of a sudden there's not a whole lot you can do about it. He does have a couple Phoenixes. Phoenix is very, very good against Mutas. Looks like he's going to leave the anti-Muta defense in the main and just deal with the ground forces using his own ground forces. Meanwhile, the Link's trying to get into the natural here. They do a little bit of damage, taking out a pylon there. It's not too big of a deal. The biggest deal is just the Mutas becoming a real hassle for Mantra, and he has had enough. We see a GG there from Mantra. The double-pronged attacks here are just... yeah, what can I say? A lot of Zerg, a lot all over the place, and not too much you can do when they get that critical mass of Mutas. What do you think about that game, Zepph?
It was a great game. I actually really liked how Mantra played that. You know, he opened up with a really ballsy early third, and that probably would have worked out a lot better perhaps if his units were a bit more active or something. But J-Dub just had the perfect response. Ling Muta against Oracle and a quick third base, just absolutely slaughtered it. So that's definitely a strategy I'm going to keep a lookout for.
Absolutely. So we'll be jumping into game number 2 pretty shortly, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that game number 1. So this is Maynarde and Zepph bringing you Epic versus Palantir. Do not go away.